Opening up the tent for the last time on this trip. It's a beautiful spot. So welcome to day 35.
Yeah.
Today is different than any other day we've had on the trip because we have a destination today.
Yes, we do.
For the first time, these are things we've been trying to avoid, as you know, but we're going to be picked up today. We get to see the Pacific Ocean.
Yep. Yeah, we are about 50 miles from the Pacific Ocean. We've made the last 2 days really stretch.
Yeah.
We really made them stretch out. But yeah, our pickup time is about 1 o'clock. I think it's what, 8:30, 8, something here. But anyway, yeah, today's the final day. We get to reach the Pacific coast and start our journey or transition back to life.
It'll be super fun to be back with family and friends. And we get to bring along a lot of new friends in our lives that we met along the way.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. People we will never forget. And every time we ourselves review, so it's dual purpose. We did this for our families so that they could come along with us on the trip, and for ourselves, because we knew that we were going to be just intense in the moment, flying through 35 days. How do you remember everything? We ourselves can actually look back at these tapes and remember it for ourselves. So it's a little bit of history for us as well.
Exactly right. The events come too fast to capture and retain them.
Yeah.
At least in my mind. So, geezer, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's the way it is. So, today's the day. Bittersweet. But it is as it is. We can say so far we've been successful. We've made it. We made a lot of friends. We've gotten lost along the way. People have asked us where, we ask people, where are we at? And they're like, well, you're on highway such and such. No. What state are we in? And they think we're crazy because we didn't know. There's times we had no clue.
Well, we certainly had a good campsite again last night. The sound of rushing water is always a beautiful thing to rest by.
Yep.
And again, we had birds waking us up this morning. Beautiful place.
Today will be interesting. We may have to skirt some wildfires.
Yeah.
We'll see as the day progresses, because there's a lot of interest in the wildfires around here, and a lot of prevention too. We've come across firefighters and a lot of people just on edge right now because of the fire system. So we'll see what today brings.
Yeah, we checked the map of the latest closures, and it looks like the road that one of the roads we'll be taking skirts the edge of it. We're not sure if the map indicates that the road is actually blocked or that's just the edge that's the nearest you can get. So we're going to go up to that road and see if we get through. If not, we'll reroute. But either way, we're going to see the ocean today.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the trail. Well, it's a brisk morning. It's still only 48 degrees.
It's a little cool.
Yeah, but only around the edges.
Around the edges, yeah. So we're backing down all those edges too. There, that feels better. So how do you feel this morning, Scott?
Oh, I'm feeling terrific. I'm ready to go on a trip.
There you go.
I'm going to go see Paxton.
Yes, you are. Well, I'm so excited for you.
He gets to meet the world this week.
Yep. Ready or not. So that's kind of cool. You go from one type of trip to another.
Yes, and I think I'm going to the better one now. This was a lot of fun. I don't take anything away from it, but the best one's coming.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, this only lasts a short time, and you still have some memories here, but it's going to be nothing like what you're going to develop with that little guy.
Yeah, we get to watch his story unfold. Well, this is a beautiful area we're traveling through. Looking forward to passing through rest of it today.
Yep. See what today brings. See what's out there. And then I get to see my wife today. So that'll be interesting. Getting back to some life. It'll be wonderful to see her again. Also see your brother Bruce.
Yes. It's going to be great. Just looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's always great to see family.
So I guess we're going to have some lunch mates today.
Huh. Maybe today they'll buy. I'm waiting for that sunshine to start picking up here. I know the back of my hands are getting a little bit cool. It's really interesting if you look at the map. We have two blue lines on it.
One going north and one going immediately south, just to the left.
Yes. And I think we're about to come upon our junction. There it is.
So I suspect we're just crossing over the river and heading back.
Hey, we're going into sunlight.
Here, Jack, you're in pursuit of the sun.
I'm in pursuit of the sun. Oh, take those chills right on out.
Reminds me of a day when we were snowmobiling. It was a blizzard, whiteout conditions, temperatures down. It wasn't snowing at the moment, it was blowing. Temperatures were down in the, 35 below or thereabouts. So what did we do? We go snowmobiling. Little wind chill.
Right.
Little wind chill added to the cold. You certainly don't want anything exposed at that point.
No, when I go ice fishing, being out in the middle of the lake, and the wind is blowing, man, you have to cover every inch up, because if you expose anything in just a matter of a minute, you've got frostbite.
Yeah, it can be real serious. So this is completely warm compared to all that. Don't you feel warmer already, Jack?
Oh, I do. I don't know, but I'm kind of spoiled nowadays, because when I go out ice fishing, I've got my little portable clam ice team edition that's all insulated fabric. So it'd be outside. If it gets a little cold, I jump inside that thing, and it's, I don't know, 60. It's in there, got a heater going, kind of comforting.
Wow, so gone are the days that you're just sitting out on the ice on a bucket.
Yeah, pretty much. I still do it. Me and my son-in-law, Zach, we like to be a little mobile, so we still walk around the ice, drill 30, 40 holes, go out there looking for fish, finding out where they're at. But it's always nice to come back when you're getting a little cold in the center. You got that nice little heated shack there. Essentially, it's a pop-up tent. You get in there, and it's comfortable. You can actually sleep overnight in this.
Well, now that you've taken up bow fishing, which one do you prefer, ice or bow?
Still prefer ice, but that bow fishing's a lot of fun.
It's beautiful in here. I love all the rock.
Yep. It's amazing. As soon as you get on the gravel, you start warming up. I also start warming up because the right side of my gas tank is the radiator, and now that the temperatures are coming up, it takes that warm air that's coming out the backside and kind of runs it right along the inside of my right leg.
Now you're sure that that's warm air that's warming you out there, Jack?
Because I eliminated all other risks earlier today.
from. Isn't that interesting?
Question. Oh, there it goes too. The question, like you asked yesterday, is where do they decide? Who decides, and how do they decide what road up in here gets asphalt?
Yeah, I've kind of surmised that areas like we just passed, where there's a short section, it must be a problem area for washouts.
I agree.
So they probably just put something a little more stable. Well, it'll be good to see the Pacific Ocean. It's been a while since I've been out to see that. And I always love coming to the Pacific Northwest. I really wish I could stay a while and enjoy some of what it has to offer, but I have a better offer.
Do. Now there is that's a culvert.
Man, you could stand up and walk through that thing. You want to do
Yes,
it?
you can. That's interesting. That is huge. That has to be a 6-foot culvert.
You want to check it out?
Oh, we can check it out. I'll be right back.
We'll see if we can get to it.
Oh, we can get to it. Just jump.
Yeah. It's impressive. Fairly new.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And just a trickle of water.
Oh, Scott, that's not a 6-foot culvert.
Can you imagine the cataract of water that comes down through here?
Oh,
You can
man.
see evidence of a lot of wash. A couple different directions here. It's a little more than 6 feet.
That's a little bit more than 6 feet.
Wow.
Just a trickle. You're right.
A little slippery in there. These boots aren't made for hiking, I don't think.
I've heard that before.
Squeaky boots in the morning.
They sure put some rock in there to make sure it doesn't erode. Isn't it something?
Well, trees have been able to stand over time.
Yeah, they have. Look at that big guy. Amazing.
That would be a project putting this in, wouldn't it?
Oh, it sure would.
Reminds me of the friends we met up there who were putting in that new culvert that we had to go around.
Oh, yes. Scott, you're 6 feet tall.
Yes?
So I bet this is at least a 10-foot culvert.
Pretty impressive.
It's quite a structure.
They really reinforced this side too with all the cement.
How nice.
Yeah, it's a lot. I know. Isn't
Yeah.
that something?
Smells great.
That's fresh.
Yeah, smells good. Oh, I'd love to burn that in the fireplace. That's a beautiful looking wood.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Dry as can be.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. Yep. Very nice.
It's a sure-footed little trail.
There is.
Oh my goodness.
like that.
Oh my goodness.
Now that's a washout.
That's a washout.
Woohoo!
That is a death trap there, isn't it?
Oh my. Looks like there's a culvert running through there, but it got overwhelmed and took the road out. Yeah, you wouldn't want to plant yourself down in that hole.
Oh, I'm going to go take a look at it once quick. What is it, about 20-foot drop?
Oh, at least, yeah. So here's an example where the culvert perhaps was smaller than it needed to be.
Yep.
They have one buried down in there, but apparently it couldn't take the load.
So we've been talking about defensive driving when you're going through some of these areas. This is one of the other reasons. I don't even know if I want to get too close to that side.
Yeah, even here it's cracking away. It's not stable.
Yeah. So there's the culvert, or piece of it down there.
Yep.
So here's your trail coming along. Somebody pulled this out, marking it.
Yeah, it's just, that would be a nasty thing to run into.
That's a project.
Man, that is going to be a project, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So I don't know if the culvert gave out. I'm guessing the culvert gave out and allowed this to just wash.
I wonder if how washed out underneath it is. Couldn't handle the load.
Couldn't handle it. Yeah.
It reminds me of that culvert in Minnesota, just north of Little Falls, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a big farm field. Didn't look steep or anything, but it collected enough water, and a small culvert that was between that field, crossing through the highway and into the Mississippi River, got overwhelmed, and it washed out the whole road and took out the railroad tracks.
Yep.
The railroad tracks is just swinging like a suspension bridge.
I mean, you just can't mess with that stuff. That water is nasty.
Fortunately, this is on a straightaway. That helps people. On a turn, it would be worse.
Yeah.
On the corner.
I agree. It's just like...
Hey, you're plumbing?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Let's help out with it.
I see. Put more. Yeah. Wow.
Oh. Okay. And away we go.
Well, we haven't seen cell service for quite some time, several days. And I think I just heard a message come through. We must be getting a little bit of service.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It's nice having the Garmin InReach service.
Yes, especially for days like that where, you know, we got people traveling. You just want to make sure that meetings are going to take place. You can still get in touch.
Yeah, and it's probably been good to, with our families, every day we're able to connect with them and let them know how we're doing.
Yep. Here's another one given away. Whole side there.
Yeah. Got some movement going on.
Sure does.
I love these forests. Canopy. Vegetation that's in here.
Yes.
So picturesque. Would make you want to pull over and stay a while.
Oh, we've done that a few times. And it's been kind of nice that, unlike at the beginning of the trip where you sat in your tent and you just dripped sweat until finally the air temperature cooled down enough that it allowed you to be able to relax and sleep. On the other hand, now we are laying there, and pretty quick you are in the mode of let's start throwing on layers for the night.
That's right. I must say it's probably considered more pleasant to have the river outside running past your tent as opposed to running off your body in your tent.
Correct. Well stated.
But we take it all. It's good. I would say we got pretty much everything you would expect to get on a trip like this. An appropriate collection of events.
Yep.
Wouldn't change a thing.
Right upstream there.
Yeah, Billy mentioned that river that we swept by is the lowest he's seen in 30-some years.
Yeah.
Normally, the fire that they're fighting nearby, they can pull, the helicopters can come and scoop water out of that river, but he said there is no place in that river deep enough now for them to obtain water. So they have to take it from sources further away.
Which just makes their job even that much harder.
Yeah. I found his comment about the logging roads to be interesting, something I hadn't thought of and considered. How that when logging was more active, they create roads up through these hills, which provided places for firefighters to get fire breaks, right? Get in there and deal with the fire sooner. Where now logging is diminished, roads either aren't maintained, and of course not creating new ones much as they had, and so they have to let the fire burn further.
Yeah, they just don't have that access anymore.
Yes, it's quite a job.
Yeah, and he was talking that there's many of these places, the only way you can get people in there is jumpers. Oh man, can you imagine that job?
Oh, a little more rock in the morning. It's nice, a little climb.
There is.
Short and sweet.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah, jumping in to a fire. What does a person do? That's an interesting proposition.
You would think it's just going to be, hand tools.
Yeah, so what do they do? Like set backfires, something to clear a buffer?
Yep, set backfires, try to establish some fire breaks.
Only so much you can do with hand tools. That'd be rough work.
That'd be rough work.
Again, fascinating. I'd love to talk to a crew and understand that a little more. Well, we can talk to Matthew.
Yeah, he's fire.
Yeah, he's been involved with some forestry work and fires.
Yep. Looks like they're trying to reestablish this trail. They've gotten that far.
What a fun trail. This is a great morning.
It is a great morning, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So Jack, back we had that section where it was kind of washed out. We were wheeling out of that ditch. I heard you laugh. What is it about? After all these years, still a wheelie brings a smile to your face. What's that all about?
I don't know. It's just something.
Yeah. Just because you can.
Just because it's that little innate child still inside of you that when something like that happens, you just... It's not even a laugh. It's a giggle. 21 years old. We can still do things that return us to some of our childhood, Nate.
We all need a little more childhood nature in our day.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't take ourselves too seriously.
Not at all. Take a moment, have some fun with it.
I enjoyed seeing the wonder and excitement of that little girl finding that lizard.
Oh, wasn't that something?
Yeah.
And the care at which she was handling it and taking care of it.
Yeah. Built a little habitat. Yep.
Yep. That's pretty great.
Wonderful.
She hadn't named them because they're going to turn them back. So
Little lizard never had it so nice.
no.
Well, I look forward to getting an independent report on the condition of this engine
Yes.
with the extended oil change intervals that I did.
I'll be going in and talking to the boys at Brothers and see what they recommend and get your bike in there and taken care of.
Yeah, I'd love to hire them to give us an opinion. On the one hand, you hope there's no damage, right? On the other hand, if there's no damage, that means you didn't find your limit, and so maybe we didn't learn much.
Yep.
So,
But yeah, you have learned a little bit. You can actually tell people that I went 1,000 miles between oil changes on this bike, and when we looked into it, there was absolutely no damage that was noted.
yeah, we'll see.
You don't know how far you can go, but you do have that information.
Yeah, it's actually more than that. First change was around 12. We did 12 and 1,300 miles every change. It's just the way it worked out.
That's true.
I wanted to do 15. Yep. That was my plan. But just the convenience and timing and circumstance on the trail shortened that a bit. But it's kind of like water skiing. If you're not falling, you're not learning, right? So,
Exactly right.
Gotta have a little failure somewhere. Understand where your limits are.
I'll never forget the one summer Larry and I were determined to learn. We'd seen people slaloming on trick skis.
That's a slippery ride.
That's a slippery ride. And so, granted, the slalom trick ski is set up just a little bit different. But we thought, what's the difference between that and your set of trick skis? So we worked at it, and we finally got it. We could get up deep water start on one trick ski, and we could ski around and just ski on it as long as we wanted.
Did you ever do a canoe paddle?
I never did the canoe paddle. I tried it a couple of times, but never really stepped out in faith.
Yeah, so we got that down. What we would do is we would slalom with your opposite foot. So normally I'm right foot lead, right? So right foot dominant, and I would switch it up, slalom with the other foot. As you're slaloming on the opposite foot, we would have the canoe paddle in one hand with the handle kind of up. We would set the blade of the paddle down under your foot and step on it. And it would hold you. And you could drop your other ski and you'd be off. And basically your foot's covering that paddle. You could maybe hook a toe from the other foot behind your planted foot, and it was quite a ride. What I can say was a slippery little thing, and when you went down fast.
Yes.
One moment the paddle's there, the next moment the paddle is nowhere in sight, and you face plant. But how fun! It's quite a thing. Good days skiing on the Minnesota lakes.
Yep.
needing some of your dust today, Jack, because my air filter doesn't have another day it has to survive for.
Yeah, but all of those things that we did, really what it did is it just increased your awareness of your body and your balance, which has allowed, I think, us to be able to maintain certain skills as we get older. In our dealing with elderly and their health care, matter of balance classes are key for the elderly. And that's the first thing that will end up leading to negative, bad demise for them, is when they start losing balance. They no longer have that ability. So I think it's a good thing to keep that balance up, keep testing yourself.
Aging is part of the experience and enjoy it best we can.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. It's another event we get to pass through.
Even on this trip, we've met a number of people. There's a hole there.
Yeah.
We met a number of people that were, when you meet them, you suddenly realize, man, they're much younger than us.
You mean like everybody?
It seems like it. And they're going, man, I wish I could, and I wish. It's like, do it.
Yeah, it's just a choice.
Yep.
Some planning.
Even if you can't do 6 weeks, do a week. Just about everybody can get a week off.
And if it's not bikes, do something else, right? You can find your own adventure.
Yeah.
I also enjoy my work, so we're going to go do that next.
Yep, I'll have to admit I do too. Kind of interested to see if it's going to be 3,000 or 4,000 emails I'm going to return to.
Yeah, email. I remember a time there was no email, right? And so when the company hospital first started having, I think it was CC mail we brought in.
Yep.
I realized that, hey, this is going to be powerful because I don't have to be tethered to my desk, because you had a phone with a voicemail and you had to be checking that, and you could only check it from that device.
Yes.
And I saw that email would allow me to do that from anywhere, and so this ability to not have to be in the office, it helped enable that. So what I did, people were hesitant to use emails new, and they weren't really all that. Some didn't like it at all. And what I did a little elephant training and conditioning of behavior. So my approach was, when people were, if they called me, I wouldn't, I'd pick up the phone if I was there, but often I'd let it go to voicemail. Then I'd check the voicemail, and if it was something urgent, I'd immediately return the call, right, if it needed attention. If not, and if it could wait, I'd wait 2 or 3 days to get back to them. However, if you sent me an email, I was on you like a tick on a dog, man. I was all over. And so I had people comment to me. They said, so-and-so was trying to get a hold of you, and you were hard to reach. And I said, well, just send him an email. He always gets back. And so within about 2 months, I was getting very little, if any, voicemail. It was all email, and it was untethered from that point forward.
I remember back, man, Penny and I were just first married, came down to see you or something, and you had a little device that you were given to trial.
Oh, what was that?
And I can't remember if it was called Simon, and you were just like, it was a combination of like cell phone, pager. It was a handheld device. You carried it, and it was kind of like, Simon says it will do it. And I thought that was just so fascinating that you could do everything. Well, nowadays that's our iPhones.
Yeah. Yeah, how things have changed.
Oh man.
The first computer I used prescribed form of both input and output was paper. Punch cards, you would read the cards to establish the instruction set for the computer and all its data, and of course it printed on paper. So there was no display. Everything was paper.
I see stuff in the horizon over there.
Yes, getting close to the fire.
That's what I'm kind of wondering.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we get through on the roads, or if we're going to have to reroute a little bit.
Yeah. Buddy.
Hey, sir. Yeah, we're getting to the smoke, aren't we?
Yeah. So, thought I'd wait up, let you catch up and see what we got going forward.
Yeah, the fire's close, so we'll see if that road that we were going to come along that was on the edge of that fire, it'd be interesting to know if it's closed or not. But we have found the forest fire.
Yep, and we're coming up on it right now. I just zoomed out a little bit.
So you recognize the road that we're going to be heading into?
Yeah, it's this next road up here. So
okay,
we're halfway to our destination.
All right, let's see what it holds in store for us. There's some planes running. Hear the aircraft?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what we find.
All right.